Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's Antony Carpen here in central Cambridge, and I'm here with Stuart Tuckwood, who is standing for the Green Party at the general election on the 8th of June. So, Stuart, new candidate for the Greens. How would you describe the progress of the Greens really over the past couple of years since 2015?
So in 2015 we got just over 4,000 votes in the general election, which was around our same result in 2010. We would have liked to get a lot more, but actually in the same day in the local elections we got around 10,000 votes, which I think equated to around 20% of the vote in Cambridge, which tells you just how much support there is for our party and for our policies in Cambridge. We managed to get, unfortunately, with 20% of the vote, just one councillor onto the City Council. But I'm really proud of what we've managed to achieve in Cambridge since then, with Oscar doing such fantastic work. There's many examples of things we've done. He helped lead the movement to get the Cambridge City Council to officially divest from fossil fuel investments. He was instrumental in getting us to Cambridge to become a city of sanctuary for people, for refugees and people fleeing war and drought and famine. And he's done a tremendous amount of work within Market Ward and with the city centre as well. It's been a real shame we've not been able to get any more councillors onto the council to support him. But I feel like we've had a lot of influence over what's gone on recently. The City Council's adopted a lot of our language and a lot of our ambition in terms of upping its ambition to become zero carbon at some point in the future. And I also feel we've helped manage to get air pollution onto the agenda in a way that it wasn't before in Cambridge. So I'm proud of what we've achieved.
Okay. So move the camera slowly back. And don't worry, what I'll do is I'll just do transitions for this.
Yeah, that's fine.
Now, you stood in Market Ward in 2016,
yep.
I believe, and that was your first time standing for election.
Yeah.
What was that like, and what did you learn from that first time around?
It was a lot of work, as standing for election always is. We put a huge amount of effort in. I knocked on every door in Market probably twice over myself. And it was enjoyable. You know, I really liked getting out there and meeting people, and I think people were very keen on our ideas and our policies, but I was up against some difficult opponents. Tim Big for the Liberal Democrats, who obviously has been a councillor for a long time and knows a lot of people, so I was disappointed we didn't get more votes. I would have liked to get elected and get on the City Council to help Oscar, but overall it was an enjoyable experience. I learned a lot from it, and we just need to build on those results and make sure we can get people onto the council to support Oscar in the future.
And kind of moving on from there, we've got the snap election that was called by the Prime Minister primarily on the grounds of Brexit. What's been your assessment over what's happened, in particular in Cambridge, over the past few weeks since the election has been called?
From the people I'm speaking to, from what we're getting fed back to us from the doors and from everywhere else, you know, from events we've been going to in Hustings, is that Brexit is a real massive concern for people in Cambridge. I think there's a real mood of uncertainty and insecurity about what's happening, particularly given there's so many EU migrants here in the city. You know, thousands of people working in research, working in the universities, working at the hospital where I work as well, and people are desperate to find answers to that uncertainty. So it's definitely, I wouldn't say it's the biggest issue of the election, because issues about education, the NHS and climate change are all huge as well. But it definitely is at the forefront of people's minds. And we're going to see what happens in 6 days, whether that's reflected in the way people vote. Because obviously we've been saying to people, we want to prioritise the free movement of people. You know, that's what we believe in. We want to make sure environmental and workplace regulations aren't dropped as we leave the European Union, and we want people to have a say over the terms of the deal, a public vote. And I hope people have heard that message, and I hope they support us on June the 8th.
Now, you've also taken part in many hustings. One thing that we both have in common is that we've both had our political views cross-examined by the public at various elections. For those people who've never had that experience before, facing the public like that, what's it been like for you having to do that over and over again with your opponents in this election?
I've really enjoyed it. You can anticipate what people's main concerns are going to be. We get a lot of the same questions about the NHS, about Brexit, about schools and schools funding, and generally I've really enjoyed it because it's a good opportunity to hear what people's concerns are direct from them. It's not always easy because people do expect you to have a lot of knowledge and to be able to speak with authority on a whole range of issues. But I've enjoyed the discussion. Quite often I try and feed back to people if someone's asking me about something I don't particularly know about, then it's a good opportunity for me to learn about those as well. And there's been some really good debate and discussion between the different candidates, and I just think what I really pick up from is that regardless of how the vote goes, there is a real desperation for change amongst a lot of people. A lot of people expect politics to be a lot better, and even though there might still be a high amount of tactical voting in this election, I really do pick up that sense of urgency amongst people that they do want something to change. And it's great that in a place like Cambridge, everyone's so engaged and so aware, and we've got so many people coming along to these hustings.
What feedback have you received individually from members of the audiences at these hustings?
Feedback's been really good. I think people have probably seen Daniel Zeichner and Gillian Hooper at quite a lot of hustings, whereas they haven't seen me before. So I don't know whether it's the freshness or the honesty with the way I'm answering questions. But I've had quite a lot of good feedback. I mean, just the floating voters at this debate we did yesterday, all by the end said they were going to be voting Green, and I think I won the exit poll at Anglia-Ruskin Students' Union as well. So I seem to be doing well. I'm hearing from a lot of people, we love your ideas, we love you as a candidate, but we might not be able to vote for you because we worry about tactical voting. And so that's very frustrating for me, and I'm trying to say to people that if you want politics to change and you want better, you have to vote for the candidates and the policies that you believe in.
So how, and I guess this goes for all parties, how do you get people who are sympathetic to you to become members of your party and then active in your party?
Yeah, I suppose for a lot of people, the idea of joining a political party or going canvassing or going leafleting is quite strange. It's not strange for us because obviously we've done it for such a long time, but it is intimidating for some people. So I always try and make sure people have got a way of contacting us, that they've got a way to go and look at some further information, and that we're open and accessible to people, because I think there's some Green parties up and down the country have been told off because if they get a new member, they basically send them a written email with a constitution in it and nothing else, whereas we try and make sure that we run a lot of really friendly, interesting events people can come along and get involved in as little or as much as they like, and that there's always a friendly face around to welcome them, because it is intimidating joining a political party, but people are very supportive of our ideas, and I hope that they'll be able to come forward and get involved.
And two other new features that we've seen in recent times that you've brought in, or you collectively have brought in. One is the kind of monthly talks that you've been putting on at the graduate union, and the second is how regularly you're using mobile video and putting out short video clips. What impact is that having, and what are people's experiences of both the events and how you're using mobile video?
So our monthly events have been really good. We call them Changing Conversations evenings, where it's just a simple idea that we introduce a topic or a concept. There's been the same things such as the environment, Brexit. We had one around progressive alliances, which was really interesting as well. People come along, they hear from two speakers who have some kind of expertise on the subject, but only for a short time, and then they get the opportunity to propose their own discussions, and they kind of break out into groups.
And this is cross-party, isn't it? Because you've had activists from Labour and Lib Dems.
Yeah, anyone can come along to join these, and we do, obviously they're run by our party, so we offer people the opportunity to sign up for further events or anything else they're interested in, but genuinely we're welcoming of everyone, and there's no underlying political motive behind that. And they've been really good. They've brought in a lot of people who've ended up volunteering with us and doing more with us, and they've also really helped us learn on some subjects, because people who've come along have had a lot to contribute to these, and I hope people found them interesting.
And with that in mind, what have been your relationships like with the other political parties, in particular Labour and the Lib Dems, who are dominant in Cambridge?
Fairly positive. I was expecting the election to get nastier and maybe a bit of mudslinging, but actually everyone's been very respectful and very friendly, so I'm glad of that. I've always known a lot of people in the Labour Party because I'm in a trade union, and I've got a lot of friends and activists who work within the Labour Party, and I've got lots of respect for them, even though I don't necessarily agree with their politics. Otherwise I wouldn't be standing for the Green Party. But and the same goes for Liberal Democrats. I know quite a fair few people in Liberal Democrats as well, and they've all been very friendly. As for the other candidates, again, I think there's a mutual respect amongst us all. I disagree with a lot of their views and a lot of the things that the political parties want, but that doesn't mean that you don't respect and do think they are trying to genuinely do the best that they can. So that's been good. Specifically on social media and videos, I've got a really great group of people working in the Cambridge Green Party who are all very creative. We've got filmmakers, graphic designers. The quality of our leaflets is brilliant. The quality of everything we put out on social media is very good. And I just have to say thanks for all their hard work, because I'm not very tech savvy at all, so I really rely on their help for that. And I've had other Green parties contacting me to say, can we borrow your social media people, because they're so good. But the more you do it, the more you get used to it. And just shooting little videos, just where you're talking about a subject or just explaining your position on a certain issue is really actually quite easy the more you get used to it. And hopefully it's made me more accessible, and hopefully it's made more people hear our arguments.
And final question from myself. We had the announcement yesterday of the President of the United States saying he is going to withdraw the United States from the Paris Climate Agreement. I wondered if you've got any comments on that in particular in terms of the UK's response at a national level.
His withdrawal from the Paris Climate Change Agreement is disgusting and disgraceful. I mean, climate change is already killing hundreds of thousands of people around the world, and it threatens the very future of the planet unless we work together to do something about it. And that requires us to work together and take drastic action, in the next 5, in the next 10 years. And I'm really outraged and upset that our government hasn't been more strong in their rebuke to Donald Trump over this. I think the leaders of Italy, France and Germany have signed joint letters to him, which Theresa May has refused to do. If she really was strong and stable, then I think she should be standing up for the interests of the planet and making sure that Donald Trump understands that we do need to work together on this. Having said that, I haven't lost faith in America. I think there's a lot of people in that country who want to be helping the rest of the world push and develop on climate change and protecting our futures, and I'm confident that they'll get themselves back into the Paris Agreement at some point. And he can't hold back history. The costs of renewables are plunging, the costs of fossil fuels are going up, and actually those countries that embrace the opportunity of dealing with climate change will be the ones that reap the benefits of the technologies and the economics of the future. And he's going to leave America increasingly isolated unless he sees some sense and gets them back into the Paris Agreement.
Okay, Stuart Tuckwood.
Thank you very much.